Hey, Kim, the brain healer here. Nope, nope, nope. Cut, cut. Hey, Kim, the healer here. Yes, I used to be the brain healer, but I realized, and with the enthusiasm of past clients, I'm so much more than the brain healer, but I do realize the value of addressing that brain. And today we're talking subconscious. Now, in my world, subconscious is not this esoteric thing that you cannot touch. Your subconscious is actually your limbic system, hippocampus, amygdala, pituitary, mammillary glands, the brainstem. All of these things are your limbic system, are your subconscious, are your inner child, because they remember absolutely everything about your life, every minute detail. When we're talking subconscious, an interesting client or an interesting comment came up. And they said, I think of my subconscious as being in my solar plexus, which to me means gut instinct, right? Subconscious gut instinct makes sense. But why would you feel it in your gut? Why do we feel that in our gut? Let's take a little journey. So, as we saw earlier, here is our limbic system, or in my world, subconscious, inner child, basic self, chakras 1, 2, 3. If you want to go that way, this is the part of you that remembers everything about that ankle sprain, the knee sprain, the hip injury, the concussion, the whiplash, the car accident, every single sound, every single smell, everything that your body was touching. That might be why your clothing is so irritating. That might be why you break out in cold sweats and hives, because your limbic system, your subconscious, your inner child is still freaking out about those days that have happened. And like I said, the limbic system is a real thing. The subconscious is a real thing. Deep, deep, deep within the brain, including the brainstem and including the cranial nerves. Now, this is where we're going to go. Cranial nerve 10, you see over here, pointing at the lungs and the intestines and even the ear, which is a very important part of our 4-point technique that you'll get if you go join my email list and download the tapping protocol. You'll learn about the 4-point technique and the power of its ability to help you release the emotional attachment to yesterday. But until then, let's go subconscious or limbic system. Now, that vagus nerve, it leaves from the base of the brain here, right? Comes down and supplies information to your throat, meaning the deep stuff. Your larynx can be part of the voice box, your esophagus, all the way down into the lungs, the heart, liver, gallbladder, stomach, spleen, pancreas, large intestine, small intestine, kidneys, adrenals, reproductive organs, bladder, all of these things. So is it possible that the gut instinct, right, that feeling that you feel in your gut, is controlled by the vagus nerve, which in turn is controlled by the limbic system? That's something for you to think about. Subconscious is a real thing. You can touch it. Now, sometimes we might get confused in relation to subconscious and our communication with our higher self, which in turn ideally communicates with source, God, spirit, angels, whatever words we want to put to it, it doesn't matter. Sometimes that's where the confusion sets in. But what if something that, say, for instance, God tells us to do, for instance, a client told me once, you can be drowning in a river and praying, God help me. And God sends down a log floating in the river. Well, you still have to grab the log. You still have to do the work, right? So God could be communicating to us all day long, telling us, hey, take this right turn right here. Now, what happens if you're afraid to take that right turn because that right turn isn't your normal turn? And God was saying, hey, take this right turn, because if you keep going this way, there's going to be an accident, and I'm going to prevent you from getting in this accident. But you were told, right, take this right turn, but this isn't my way. Even though you gut instinct and saying, turn, 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 because of our emotional attachment to experiences in our past, it prevents us from listening to our higher self, our inner knower, and we stay straight and end up possibly in that car accident or stuck behind that car accident. Why does this always happen to me? You weren't in the car accident. The people in front of you were. Their day is much worse than yours. Maybe not. So that's where I'm going with this. Subconscious, limbic system is your inner child, is the part of your brain that remembers everything and is telling everybody what to do. It's the first thing that grows in our brain. And it's telling everybody what to do in relation to our emotional attachment to the past experiences that we have experienced, been through, right? So a car accident, take for instance, a car accident. Little story, I broke a windshield with my head. We were only going 25 miles an hour, and I was not wearing my seatbelt. And we were having a great day. Is at work, right? We had just gone to Burger King back when Burger King was the bomb. Burger King was good. I haven't had Burger King in a long time. And we got our Whoppers and our fries, man, Burger King fries back in the day. Oh, man, they were good. And I think I got a Dr. Pepper that day. I'm not sure, but that's what I used to get at Burger King way back then. That was 27 years ago. Matter of fact, that might have been the last time that I had Burger King. That's interesting. Wow. So, broke a windshield, right? And I had hit my head a lot of times before that. So it was just like a daily occurrence. Being a snowboarder, you hit your head. This is what you do. And I remember looking over, and this guy was watching the whole thing. I'm like, man, look at that. It didn't even hurt. And I'm pointing at the window. It's all cracked and broken. And then all of a sudden I dropped the sodas from my hand. I was carrying me and my partner's sodas because our truck didn't even have cup holders. And I dropped them, and uh-oh. That impact got wrapped up into, I don't remember eating lunch. Yeah, I don't think I ate lunch because I took the ambulance to the hospital. Now, before I get wrapped up in the other stuff, I don't remember the ambulance ride. Still to this day, I've done so much work around this day. Don't remember the ambulance ride. Don't remember getting into the hospital, but I do remember waking up, and I was strapped to a backboard in a room by myself. And I immediately went into freak out mode. I was screaming, get me out of here. Oh my God. That's shock. All of a sudden your brain came back into awareness, and it's still in car accident mode. It's still in breaking a windshield mode, right? And getting integrated or connected to every single other time in my life that I had hit my head. Boxing, football, snowboarding, bicycling, motocrossing, doing stupid crap that I wasn't supposed to be doing, all got ingrained into that broken windshield. Now, should I have gone to work the next day? I was taught, you wake up in the morning, you get to work. It's what we do, right? We've got a job to do. If you're an athlete, what are you going to do? Are you going to let your team down? Consciously, we don't want to, right? No, or actually subconsciously, because that's what we're taught. But even consciously, I owe this to my team. I got to be there. But as we're learning, concussions are a bad, bad thing. And you might have symptoms that go away, but then all of a sudden you're experiencing rage for no reason, blowing up for no reason, insane depression for no reason later on down in life. And then you start going to the doctor. They're running all these tests, right? Hormones are down, testosterone's down, estrogen's through the roof. Because the pituitary gland, that guy right there, he's the master gland. He tells all the other organs, all the other things in the body that produce hormones what to do and when to do it. But if you have lost that connection between pituitary, amygdala, and your adrenals, you're going to be possibly living in cortisol all the time. They're not communicating together because of the head injury. And now my hormones are out of balance. And did you tell the doctor that you broke a windshield with your forehead, that you were a snowboarder or an extreme athlete, or that you boxed one time when you were 15 years old with your buddies, or that you played football in high school and you were a skinny little punk playing defensive end that shouldn't have been playing there, but it's a small school, so everybody plays, and I was stoked to be there, although I don't remember any actual games, except I did recover a fumble one time. That was cool. But that's all I remember about it. So I know we got off on a long rant about subconscious, but in my world, the subconscious is a physical thing. It is the limbic system. It is the part of your brain that remembers your entire story, including the story that you don't remember. Story of early childhood, 0 to 7 years old. Story of when you were in utero, being formed, and everything that your mom was going through, good and bad. It's not always bad stuff. Remember, your limbic system remembers good stuff too, but it's wired to look for the negative. So that when the negative gets overpowering, because of all the negativity, and then all of a sudden you've got all these negative thoughts all the time, and unconfident and sad and sorrow and hate and rage, and they're just building up. That's what we look for. And then you get these people who call themselves empaths, which, yes, I am an empath. That's how I can do the work that I do through the computer. But everybody is an empath. Everybody has empathic abilities. We can feel everything. But some people are more so. But again, when we get filled up with the negativity, what are we going to be looking for? Everybody beats me up with their energy. It's not their fault. It is your fault. It's not that it's your fault, but it's your stuff that you're holding inside, your vibrations. And every emotion, anger and rage, same, but different. Sadness and depression, same, but different. Sadness and grief, same, but different. Different vibrations. And when those vibrations inside you match with a vibration from outside of yourself, your vibration gets even bigger. They're beating me up. No. And I speak to this from my own experience. As I have released my emotional attachment to my past, so that when I tell a story, I'm just telling a story. I can go out and about and not get my butt handed to me. So remember that. If you are an empath, work on you. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to everybody else, so that you can be the person that you're meant to be. Happy, healthy, and very helpful. It's helpful to be able to feel what other people are going through, so that you can help them if they want it. And giving ourselves permission to heal, that means not only the empaths, but everybody. If you're stuck where you're at, if you're miserable, give yourself permission to heal. Boom. And tap about that. I give myself permission to heal. And if you don't have the tapping protocol, go to my website. You can download it on the store. Get on my email list, so you get the 5 steps to decrease inflammation in your body and brain. Because if you've had injuries, you probably have inflammation. If you eat sugar every day, you probably have inflammation. And sugar is not fruit. That's a big question. Well, you say don't eat sugar. Does that mean fruit? No, not at all. Fruit juice, yes. If don't be surviving on fruit juice. So I'm not saying don't ever have it, but if you are sick, maybe let's cut the fruit juice out and have fruit, vegetables, good quality protein, and tap every single day. Tap so your subconscious, your limbic system can hear you, because that's what tapping is. Tapping addresses the meridian system, which in my world addresses the subconscious, the limbic system, the inner child, so that you can make the changes that you're looking for, releasing the emotional attachment from yesterday, whether it be physical injury, emotional, mental, massive trauma, so that we don't have to deal with the PTSD. I've ran out of a grocery store before. I've never been to friggin' war. I ran out of a grocery store because two people were coming towards me and I was in the middle of the aisle. That doesn't make any friggin' conscious sense. But because of the things that I was holding on to in my limbic system and what was coming towards me, my crap got riled up and I flipped out. It's a true story. Consciously, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Some of the people that watch this video might be saying, that's friggin' stupid. You're one of those millennial kids. No, I'm friggin' Gen Z. But because of the head injuries, I was a mess. And I'm so grateful to have been able to heal myself. And that's what I've done. I've learned how to heal myself with all the training and everything that I've put together, and my God-given gifts of being able to move and manipulate energy very quickly. That's what I do for you as well. So when you're feeling that gut instinct, is it possible that it's that vagus nerve that we talked about that leaves from the brainstem, that is part of the limbic system, because the eyes, the ears, all the senses in your mouth. So if you've had wisdom teeth taken out, you might have a tendency towards fight or flight and not know why. You might have unexplained aches and pains that nobody can figure out. Oh, my teeth hurt. So they go in there and your teeth are fine. What are you complaining about? You might be holding on to that trauma from the wisdom teeth being taken out, or losing your tooth, or a root canal, or many, many possibilities. And that's why when I work, I muscle test your energy to figure out exactly what your body needs in order to facilitate the healing quickly. But of course, you need to take charge of your life as well. And that's why I give you homework. If you're open to making amazing, drastic change in your life, hey, let's work together and let's get your limbic system, your subconscious, your inner child healed so that your physical body can heal on every aspects of your life, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, and yes, spiritually. So let me know what you think. Make sure you drop a comment, subscribe. I've got a lot of cool stuff. And check out my website, kimmcintyre.com. We'll see you next time.